What's up, idols? It's CC3. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So I'm not gonna lie, the header of this email scared me. I was really scared for this girl. The plot is kind of crazy. It does have a pretty dark undertone, but it has a pretty happy, wholesome ending. So we'll just take you on this roller coaster that is this story time. Like, you see the title. It's kind of dark, but it has a good ending. Before we get into this story time, if you'd like access to more story times, the ones that I can't put on YouTube because they're not ad friendly, they're not safe for work, then I would love to invite you guys to check out my Patreon. I just uploaded another story time about a girl who'd had some relations in public while clubbing in Korea. If you want to sip that tea, the link is down below in the description, but let's jump into this story time. Today's star asked to be called Riley. Like from Inside Out. Hindsight is always 20/20, so she does not want her identity out there because she said, you know, she made some mistakes. Looking back on it, she would have done things a little bit differently, but we live and we learn. And that's part of the reason she wants to share this story with you guys. It's like a cautionary tale. But yeah, she's not trying to get dragged for something she did in the past. So she wants to be called Riley. Riley has been living in South Korea for forever now. It's like her plan to stay there. She has no plans to move anywhere else. Like, Korea is home. So yes, there was this scary incident that happened to her, but as a tiny hiccup on what is otherwise a great experience and a preferred life in Korea for her. So Riley loves social media. She is always posting where she's at, what she's doing. Riley is also on a lot of dating apps in Korea. The Tinder, Meef, OkCupid, Hinge, Bumble, all that. And she likes to have her social media linked in the bios of her dating profiles on these dating apps. So basically it means even if she doesn't swipe on a guy, or like maybe she doesn't come across his profile, maybe she doesn't swipe on him, if he sees her Instagram or her TikTok or whatever, he can just slide in her DMs. So yeah, every now and then she would get messages from some guy saying, hey, saw you on Bumble. Hey, I like your profile from Tinder. And most of the time she would just ignore these messages. Like, okay. She would either ignore them, she'd delete them, she would never reply to them. It wasn't really that big of a deal to her. But there was this one guy who was particularly persistent. You know the type where whether you leave them on red, you don't respond to their messages, you delete their messages, they still always have something to say.
Names.
Martha, please.
Names.
Martha, please.
Names.
Martha, please, let go.
Don't you dare!
He would also comment a lot on her Instagram stories, her Instagram posts, always saying how beautiful she looked, how she looked like she was having so much fun, or a question like, when can I join? When will we meet? And even saying stuff like he knew her, like, oh my God, that's my favorite smoothie too. I can't wait to see you again. We'll have fun soon. These are like actual things he said to her. And she never met him before. She don't even know what he looks like. And then some of the messages were kind of angry from him. Like, why you never answer? Why won't you meet me? Why do women always same to me? It's hopeless. And she just ignored these messages. She didn't think much of it. She says every girl has been in that situation at least once, where there's a thirsty guy who will keep messaging you no matter what, whether you leave him on red, whether you don't open the messages, never reply, whether you do reply, they will always have something to say constantly over and over again. Has that happened to y'all too? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, she always would just ignore that. Everything would normally be fine when it happened in the past, but this time things did play out a little differently. So Riley is the type of girl who is never home. She likes social settings. She likes to eat out. She likes to go shopping, clubbing, drinking, different activities like batting and bowling. She likes going to the movies, things like that. So she's never home. She likes to be out. And when she goes clubbing, she likes to tag the club that she's at on her story, and she gets excited when they repost her. Even at restaurants, she would like to do this. So that is one important fact to keep in mind for later in the story. So with all the dating apps that Riley is on, she did eventually meet a guy that she really liked. They matched on Bumble, and she was very interested in meeting him in person and actually getting to know somebody. She was really excited, and let's call this feller Mingi. Mingi's a good name. Mingi is the GOAT, and you will see why soon enough. So she's chatting with Mingi. She's getting to know him online a bit before they meet in person, or before they agree to meet in person. She learns that Mingi's a baseball player at his uni. He loves sports, and he admits that he doesn't have a lot of time for girls or dating, and that's why these dating apps are convenient, because he's trying to make time for a special lady in his life. He said his parents give a lot of pressure on him to date and find someone soon. He's a few years younger than her, but he also says he likes his nunas, and he said he likes women who are more independent, especially since he doesn't have a lot of free time. He wants to have a girl that can function on her own without needing so much of his time. So she sent me a picture from his Bumble profile, and I'm going to try to describe a little bit of what he looks like. So his hair is dyed brown. And she did say that she likes the way he dresses. She said he gives off a boyfriend vibe. And in this Bumble profile picture, he has like a brown tote bag. He's wearing like a denim button up with some khaki pants and a white shirt and some Chucks. What is it with the Chucks? I love Chucks. I agree. They look great. They give off boyfriend vibes. But yeah, Chucks are still really popular in Korea apparently. She said he's tall, but she's short. So most people are tall to her. But yeah, Mingi is an introverted guy. If he's not training for baseball or working, he's at home. Basically, he's the complete opposite of Riley. He's not the type to hit up a bar or hit up a club, but they do say opposites attract, right? So one day, after chatting for a bit, they finally make plans to meet up in person. And he knows she likes to go out and have drinks, so he figured drinks would be like an easy first time activity to loosen up, relax, and get to know somebody. So he said, you like to go out for drinks? Let's get some drinks when we first meet. So Riley was very excited to finally meet someone that she was interested in meeting. She was like, oh my God, he's so cute. He's so my type and he's into me. I'm so excited. So she's posting all this on her social media. They're gonna meet up in like a clubby lounge for the first time so they can have some light food and some drinks and sit, listen to music, dance a little bit. Fun.
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me.
So she's wearing like a high-waisted skirt and a long sleeve crop top with some boots. And she says she got the outfit inspo from Karina and Espa. So as she's heading out, she posts a selfie on her story, which unfortunately makes it a little easier to spot her because now if you're looking for her, you know exactly what she's wearing. So she decided she wanted to leave out early so she could get a nice table for her and Mingi, somewhere that wasn't so close to the speaker so they could hear each other speak, somewhere that was close to the dance floor so if they get up, they could dance a little bit but then claim their seat again so nobody took it. So she left about 40 minutes early so she could head over to the lounge and find a good seat for them. She gets there and since she's early, she decides to go on social media, post a little bit about where she's at, the club that she's at, and also what she's doing, things like that. She's talking with some of her friends, she's reading some DMs, and while she's checking her DMs, she sees that she has another message from the resident creep. He reacted to her post about the club that she's at because she likes to tag it, because she likes it when the club or lounge or restaurant reposts her story and their story. So she was excited, hoping that that would happen again. She tagged where she was, so the resident creep, by the way, let's just call him Junyoung, because that is another creepy guy, Burning Sun guy. Well, that's a good name for a creep. No disrespect to the other lovely normal Junyoungs out there. So he responds to that story, that post about her being at the club with heart eye emojis.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
And then he wrote got, which means soon in Korean. So Mingi finally shows up and she said he smelled immaculate. She loved the way he was dressed. He was wearing like an all black button up with some black pants. All black, everything looks good, don't it? So they're enjoying their food, enjoying their drinks, enjoying the music, enjoying each other's company, and getting to know each other really well. And they're hitting it off. They even got up here or there to dance a little bit together, which is so cute. She said Mingi is an absolute sweetheart. Like, he's cheerful, but he's also a bit shy, which makes sense that he's an introvert homebody type. So while they're chatting at this lounge, he revealed that it's his absolute dream to play baseball professionally and move to Los Angeles to do so. So he had a lot of questions for her, like, what's it like in the States? I want to go. He said he went as a kid, like he went to Disney once. He went on a business trip with his dad, but other than that, he's never been old enough to really take it in or retain anything, but he really wants to go back. Like, that is his dream. There actually is another famous baseball player. He's Korean, but I think he plays in LA. I remember him back when I used to watch Running Man like every single day, every single week. I used to only watch Running Man. It was like this bigger teddy bear looking guy, and I'm pretty sure he played in LA. So I wonder if like he's his idol. That would be cute. So while Riley is chatting with this guy, Mingi, she noticed someone who kept staring over at her and kind of smiling. But she just figured it's because she looks so good right now. Like, I described her outfit. She felt really cute. Like, she liked her vibe. She felt really confident. So she's like, oh, you know, he's just staring at me because I look good. She didn't really think too much about it. And she didn't feel scared or anything because she was with Mingi. If anything happens, they have to go through Mingi first. So she was like, nah, not bothered. And a few guys were staring throughout the night, so she really didn't think anything was too unusual. So as their night comes to an end, they decide and they both agree that they want to go on a second date, but this time do something a bit more Mingi speed, like maybe a bike ride through Seoul forest. So they exchange cacaos and he walks her out. So this club was near Gangnam, which is south of the river, and she lives on the northern side. So because they were done with the clubby lounge area, they still wanted to spend time together. They weren't quite ready for the night to end. So he said, oh, let me walk you across this bridge and we can walk to the nearest train station over there or bus stop. Those boots don't look that comfortable. If you're up for it, let's go for a little bit of a walk. So yeah, they cross Banpo Bridge, and that's the cool one. The bridge that has like the fountains that come out, the lights. On Banpo Bridge, it's like 2 layers. There's like a lower part that's right on the water you can walk across and bike across and drive across. And there's another layer on the top, and that also has like the water show that comes out. I love Banpo Bridge. Oh my gosh. So like they were just in a loud, loungy club, and now they're out late. There's not a lot of people walking around. It's quiet, it's peaceful, and this is more Mingi's speed. One thing though, while they were walking across the bridge and walking farther from the lounge, Mingi noticed a guy. Didn't think too much of it, but you know, nobody else was around, and this guy was kind of following them for a little bit, like for a while, but he didn't think much of it. He didn't want to freak her out. He's like, I'll just stay with her for now. And apparently this was the reason he wanted to walk her home, because he noticed that guy. So once they finally walk across the bridge and they walk on the other side a little bit, they find a bus stop that's going to get her home. It's one of the night buses, so it doesn't come as frequently. So he gets on the bus with her. So at this point, Riley was starting to freak out that he was trying to go to her house with her. She's thinking Mingi is trying to do more tonight. Like, I just met you, I like you, but slow down. So she's like, you know, you can get off. Like, I'm good here. I can make my way home. I've been in Korea for so long. Like, I got this. And because he didn't see the guy anymore, he thought, okay, yeah, you know, if you're comfortable with that, I will leave you. I will go to the train station and wait for the trains to start. So they hugged and said goodbye. She heads off from her bus stop, her short walk home, and he heads for the train station to wait for the morning trains that's going to take him home. So Riley's walking towards her apartment, thinking about how much she likes Mingi. They just hugged. He smells so good. She can still smell him, and how she can't wait to see him again. But as she turns the corner, she notices a guy. She notices someone there. And after a while, she notices that's the same guy that was smiling at her in the club. The one she was like, oh, you know, a few guys are looking at me. I look good tonight. But this is the same guy. And this is the first time she's noticed him since the club. Like, Mingi spotted him, but he didn't say anything to her because he didn't want to freak her out. And when he didn't see him anymore, he thought, okay, the coast is cleared. That was just a weird coincidence. And once Riley clocked Junyoung, he started to walk with his head down, like he was trying to hide his identity. And that's when she started to really freak out. So like, she's walking home and he's on the other side of the street, like behind, but they're still heading in the same direction. And now that she's freaked out, she tries to call Mingi, but he doesn't pick up. So then she texts him and says, I think I'm being followed. So then the guy crosses the street, like on the same side of the street that she's on now. And he also starts to speed up, like he's trying to shorten the distance between them and close that gap. So at this point, she's looking for pedestrians, she's looking for witnesses, she's looking for people in cars, somebody, because surely if he's going to do anything, he wouldn't do it with people watching. And once she saw that there was no one around, she decided to pick up her pace. She was scared to run though, because if she started to run, what if he started to run too? And that just makes this so much more real and so much more intense. And in the shoes she was wearing, she would not make it far. So then she heard Junyoung say, wait, and I'm sorry. Also, just talk, just talk.
Stop it. Get some help.
So she was getting closer to her front door because she figured running home would probably be the safest bet, because I can at least lock the door between us. She saw a CU. Thank God she saw a CU. It was a convenience store, and it was a female worker inside, and it was also a guy who was shopping, and she was about to ask them for help, but then Mingi called her back finally. He said, what's wrong? She said, I think I'm being followed. Mingi said he's nearby still and asked for her to turn on her location at Kakao, because you can just like turn on your location and he can just follow you. So while Riley is in the CU, Junyoung stays outside. Like, he doesn't come in the CU at all. But while she was in the CU waiting for Mingi to come, she got a DM. The same creepy guy that she never really knew his name. She never paid attention to any of that. She didn't know what he looked like either, because the picture of his messages, it looks like a Pokemon character. It wasn't a person, so she had no idea what he even looked like. And the message said, you never gave me a chance. And that's when she started to put it all together. Like, oh, this dude that was staring at me in the club, the heart eye emojis, the soon message, and now he's right there. This is the same dude who's been in my DMs for the past few weeks.
Oh, no. No.
And at that moment, she felt like such an idiot for not blocking him when he kept spamming her with all these messages like, you look beautiful, I'll see you soon, I like that smoothie too, we'll have fun together. She's like, I should have just blocked it, but I didn't really think much of it because girls get those type of creepy messages all the time. So Mingi suddenly appears, like he came so quick back to the CU to where she was. Luckily, where she was walking from her bus stop was not far from the train stop that he had to go to wait for the trains to go home. So when he came in to the CU and she saw him, she was so relieved. So now that Mingi's there, Mingi takes Riley, they walk outside of the CU and they kind of just look at him like, what's he gonna do next? But he literally just stopped, about face, walked the other way, calmly, didn't say anything else, just walked off. Now that it's just them two and they're watching this guy walk away, he's like Riley, who is he? What happened? And she said, I don't know. I saw him staring at me in the club. He's been leaving me these DMs. And then when Mingi saw this guy, he's like, oh shit, that's the dude that I saw when we were crossing the bridge. Like, I lost him. I thought he stopped following us. Mingi said, oh my God, I saw him on the bridge and I didn't say anything. I'm sorry. I should have said something when I saw him, but I didn't want to freak you out, especially if it was nothing. And then he told her that's why he was trying to walk her home. And she's like, oh, you weren't trying to be a creep and sleep with me. You just wanted to make sure I got home safe. And she felt like, damn.
Damn!
So Mingi asks to see these messages. Riley hands the phone and he's reading them like, okay, block him. Like, what are you doing? Why isn't he blocked yet? And then Mingi said, men like him worry me because I have a sister. So he tells her she's safe now. And he says, don't post where you are while you're there anymore because he could make another account and follow you again. You never know when a new person trying to follow you is actually him. So don't do that. Post it after you leave. And he even said, call me if you see him again. But after that, she was a little freaked out. So she asked Mingi if he could like stay with her the night. And he said, I think that's a bad idea because it's too tempting.
What do you mean by that?
But then once she said she was still really scared, he caved. He said, okay, I'll sleep on the couch. Like, I'll stay with you until the sun comes up at least. So he spent the night with her. He stayed on the couch. She was in a room. Nothing happened. They did talk a lot. It wasn't like he just slept on the couch and she stayed in a room. Like, they came out, they watched TV, they talked, shared memes. Like, they spent time together, but nothing more than PG behavior happened. And throughout the night, they were kind of looking out for Junyoung to see if they would see him again. So basically, it's been about 8 months since that happened. She's never heard from this guy again. She's never seen him again. Now that she knows what he looks like, she can at least be on the lookout. Nothing from this guy whatsoever. And you'll be happy to know that her and Mingi are still dating. But she does say that things might be fizzling out a little bit because he's so focused on moving to the States. He really wants to go to LA. And she is firmly planted and staying in Korea. Like, she doesn't want to go back to the States. Hopefully it works out for them, but she said things have been kind of fizzling out a little bit lately. Like, their futures are diverging a bit. And she says she'll always appreciate how he had her back that night. The fact that he came as soon as he did made her, she was just like, oh my God, like, you had to sprint here. Like, that's crazy. And she's like, who knows what would have happened if he wasn't there? Like, yes, she was in the CU and she found somebody, but who knows if they would have been able to help her. So now she wanted me to share the word with you guys, the good wisdom. If you're gonna go out, don't post while you're there. Post after you leave. She said that's something she lives by because, again, you never know if this Junyoung guy is gonna make another account and start following her and stalking her all over again. But yeah, I really hope her and Mingi work out. Like, he sounds like an absolute gem, a goat. Like, that is amazing. It's cute how he really had like the best of intentions. He was just trying to make sure she got home safe and she thought he was trying to like cross a line. He's like, no, I wanted to make sure you got home safe because I saw this guy following us. But yeah, guys, that was another story time. Again, starts off a little scary but has a really good ending. Hopefully Junyoung never appears again. If you want to see more story times like this, check out the playlist. It's about to pop up on the end screen. There are so many dating in Korea story times. There's so many at this point. If you need more like this, I hope that gives you your fix. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong!